All right, I'm speaking with Harlan Charles. He's the marketing product manager, Corvette product manager,
Right.
For GM. And Harlan, today you unveiled the 2011 Corvette Z06 Carbon Edition. When did you start getting the idea of, hey, we want to do something special for the Z06 again?
Yeah, that's a good question. We really wanted to emphasize the Z06 this year. You know, every year we try to do something new. Like last year for 2010, of course, the Grand Sport behind me was the news. The year before that was the Z01. But we really haven't done a lot for the Z06 lately. And the Z06 is a very special car because it's the lightest weight Corvette and the best balanced Corvette. And we always feel it has that special racing connection, you know, where we shared with the GT1 car, the 7-liter small block LS7. So we want to do something taking advantage of the technology from racing and also technology from the ZR1 to create kind of the ultimate driver's car for Corvette. Really somebody that loves to drive, loves to do track events, things like that. So we have, you know, the lightest weight, best balanced car. We also have the best chassis under the car now because we got the larger brakes, the Brembo carbon ceramic brakes, the larger Michelin PS2 tires, 20 inches in the back, 19 in the front. And then for the first time, we have magnetic selective ride control available in the Z06. Comes with that car, so you have both tour and sport modes. And we added the carbon fiber ground effects. So we were really able to create kind of a unique car for the driver. And the nice thing about it too, it falls into line this year. We're celebrating 50 years of Le Mans racing, going back to the 1960 last winter. So you know, that car really represents everything we've learned, you know, from racing that we've transferred to the street car. So we really thought about this, you know, a couple of years ago. And you know, some other cars coming into our segment and things like that. So we wanted to keep the Z06 a step ahead. And really, when the media and the magazines do their lap times and everything, we wanted to have, you know, a car that could really compete on lap times, be the best value in the segment. Even though not necessarily the cheapest car, it's Corvette is always known for being the best performance car for the money, and we wanted that to be, you know, wanted to keep that going.
Now, Taj had spoke about one of the new features is the ability to tighten up the steering wheel. Is that as a direct result from talking to customers saying that, you know, they want something a little stiffer, or is it just research? How do you come about doing changes like that?
For steering feel, well, that's something we hear from customers and media. You know, we always trying to improve the steering so it keeps the car fun to drive and responsive. So we're always, you know, we're starting with, really, we did a major rework of the steering in 2008, and we keep continuous improving to make the steering that's a little bit lighter but a little bit more precise. It makes it more fun to drive, and also when you're on the track, you know, it's one less thing you think about. You know, you want the car to be very precise and go where you're pointing it. So, yeah, we're always going to continue to improve in that area. You know, the thing in recent years with Corvette, you know, you can go back, you know, to the '84 fourth generation Corvette. Corvette's always competed. We've always won with the numbers of the car. We've always been able to compete, but now we're winning with the refinement and the preciseness of the car and things like that. The things that you feel is just as important as the numbers that the car generates. So we're making the car just better in both refinement and ultimate performance.
Right. As you look at putting these, taking parts that were unique to the ZR1 and putting them on the Z06, is there economies of scale that are at work as well? I mean, it helps the way the ZR1 has been selling, that, yeah, we can now offer these. We've got them in manufacture. They're in the production line. We can go ahead and put them on some different cars like
right.
the Carbon.
And that's always the intention. When we break out something like a ZR1 as a technology leader with the additional carbon fiber, like for us, it's a low-volume car, but for the suppliers we're working with, it's the most they've ever done. So the always intention was to get the production experience and be able to offer that in the others. Now, on this new Z06 Carbon, for example, where the ZR1 has, you know, we've talked about this a lot, this expensive clear coat, because to get the beauty of the visible
like $60,000 an ounce or something like that?
Right, exactly. So on the Z06 Carbon, we decided, you know, this is purposeful, you know, this is for, you know, the ultimate track, so let's just, you know, economies of scale, paint it black, just do simpler black, you know, save some of the extra costs there. But for this customer, we really want the track customer needs mostly the lightweight, and you want the aerodynamic benefits of those parts. So we found a more cost-effective way to do it, and over time, I think that's what you're going to see. Things we like to introduce in the top Corvettes, come down to the more standard Corvettes, and then we got to keep coming up with new things to introduce on the top. So I think that's how we keep the technology going.
Right. As a marketing guy, there was a recent report that came out that said that the #1 competition for the Corvette is actually the Camaro. What are your internal numbers telling you? Do you feel that that's true? And are there some ways that you're going to find you're going to try to differentiate the line even further?
No, we looked at numbers like that and cross shopping, and actually it's not that's not really true, to be honest. We looked at it was only I'm trying to remember from the top of my head, it was only like 2 to 2.5% of people who bought Camaros traded in Corvettes. It was pretty rare actually, and we looked at the numbers similar to when Camaro was out, in 2002 previous. It's a very similar cross-shopping situation. So it's really different customers, obviously. The Corvette being a 2-seater, all-out sports car, more expensive versus the Camaro. But there's always going to be some of that because people who are Corvette fans or Camaro fans or Chevy fans, and there's a group of people they want the newest thing that's out. Right. The Camaro being the new, haven't been around for a while. Of course, we've got customers that have both cars too. So there's not really a concern there from the data that we've seen that we're losing any Corvette customers to Camaro. Actually, the hope is it builds on each other. Maybe somebody that wants a Corvette someday, not really can afford it yet, they can get that Chevy performance in the Camaro, right, and then grow into the Corvette later on. Is kind of what we're hoping.
Okay. I feel I do have to ask you 1 or 2 questions about future product development. One of the questions I have is a report came out that 10 different global design houses of GM all submitted designs for the C7. Have you seen those? Do you like what you see? And as people hear about global as opposed to an American designed Corvette, there's some consternation in the enthusiast community. Can you describe maybe how this is all going to come about? Should it come from a design house outside of the U.S.?
Well, this isn't really anything that we haven't done before with all Corvette design. General Motors has design. Of course, we're headquartered in Michigan, but we have design in Europe, in Korea, and in Australia. And anytime we do a Corvette, let's be honest, there's enthusiasts all over the world, and they're working at design, and they want a chance to show their vision. So this is kind of a common thing that we've done with every Corvette. We do a global sketch search. Mm-hmm. Now, our guy, Tom Peters and Kirk Benyon are leading the exterior design here, and they get all that data, all those sketches in, and we apply some of those ideas, that we like and don't like. So it's really the way that we've worked for a long time. There's so much global excitement about Corvette. It's really become more American than the global car. Right. But ultimately, the car's final design is going to be executed in our tech center, design center in Michigan. Mm-hmm. But again, it's always fun to see. Sometimes people have different takes on it, and Corvette means to them. Right. For a lot of people all around the world, the Corvette is their dream car, just like it is for Americans. Mm-hmm. And they respect that Corvette is kind of America's entry into this global sports car market. So it is kind of fun to see the different sketches come in, and we have walls of sketches and things that we look at. Right. So I think it's just going to add to how great the car will eventually be when we eventually start doing it. Right.
One of the things Bob Lutz said several years ago was that he'd like to see the C7 be offered in both right-hand drive and left-hand drive cars for for export. Right. Is that something that you see happening?
Yeah, that's something we'd like to do in the future. Actually, Australia especially, I think, would be a great market for Corvette, and New Zealand. We do sell cars today in the UK and in Japan, but obviously I think if it was right-hand drive, we could do better there. So I think eventually we will someday, but right now, obviously, we don't have it yet, but I think that's in our future plan.
Okay. Well, Harlan, it was very good talking to you, and I look forward to seeing you at the C5, C6 Bash in Bowling Green.
All right, nice talking to you, too.
All right, thank you.
Again.